if you want to split any element, what are the things to be considered? What are the things to be noted? Remember, if I want to split any element, I have explained you last time. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Shoaib, Nakul,
Maybe
Sorry.
length.
if we want to split any element, what are the things to be like? Remember, I want to split an element or I want to split a surface. Then
Length.
Uh,
Length.
Plane uh, from which we want to split that edge.
plane. Then
Mm,
let's say I'll take a structural column. Whatever, leave that as it is. Now, I want to split this column. How? What is the best method? Last time, when we split like some floor or something, let's say we just created a floor. We created a floor. Uh, and we created a floor. Some floor, and we splitted this. How did we split that? How did we split that? Yes, you forgot?
First, we need to find outlines of
First, we
this.
get the outlines, then
Then we will join to make poly.
mm-hmm,
Uh, then we will make a surface.
mm-hmm.
Mm, Then we will make some lines on which we want to split that.
Okay.
Uh,
So first we got the outlines of the floor, correct?
yeah.
Then
Yes.
we converted this outline into the surface.
Yes.
Then we
Then
created some sort of isolines,
yes.
correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Then
Then we will split. Uh, yeah.
then we split it using
Yes.
geometry dot split with these
Geomet.
lines with the
Yes.
surface, correct? Then
Yes.
these individual like surfaces will be created, and we will be using that exactly has to be superimposed on the floor, and it has to cut exactly as per the same, correct? Okay,
Yeah.
well, for example, if I want to do the same thing with a structural column, then I don't have a this much surface to play with isolines or something. How do I do that? I want to split it exactly. How? Hmm? Can I create any specific, for example, I want to split that here, and I want to split here, and I want to split here, and I want to split here. So this column has to be splitted into four parts. One, two, three, four parts. Correct? To get this, what I can do? If I want to split here, if I want to split here, if I want to split, someone answered this last time. I don't know who is it. Hmm? No idea. First, select the model element. First, let me select the model element, and I'll select this element. Okay, and then I'd like to go with how to get the location. So get location, element dot get location, element dot get location. Now, what is the? It's a point based element. It's a point based element. What is this? It's a point based element, no? Hmm?
Yes.
But if I want to split this into multiple parts, I want the start point and I want the end point. And I want this midpoints as well, where it has to be splitted. Am I right? But how can I do it now? Guys, please speak out, because this is not, I mean, even I can provide you the scripts also. But why I'm asking you, because I need, what is your, the way, like, how do you get the logic? That's why I'm asking you. Hmm?
Getting the start point and end point and splitting it into equal parts.
Mm-hmm. So start point and end point. How do you get the start point and how do you get the end point? How do you get the start point and how do you get the end point? Okay, the first logic is right. How do you get the start point? Here, it is showing me only like point itself. It's showing me it's like a point. But where is it? Which point is it? And how do you get this curve information? Now, element to curve. How do you get this? Let's go and see. What is this? Can I get the length here? At least can I get the length here? No. Then if I know like what to, if for example, I have this length. Let's think some sort of logic. I have this from here to here. If I have a length, I can use this, the x value, the end x value. I can get the end x value and I can create a line from here to here and I can start splitting into the number of paths. But where I'm not even getting the length as well. Then how? Hmm? Nice. I'm just waiting for your answer. No?
Point at segment length.
Pointed segment length. No. Where we have a point here, but where is the actual thing? Where is the end
So
value? Where is the end
can
value?
Or
we
seg-
can we get the
segment.
column from element.geometry,
Element dot geometry.
and then we will explode the geometry, so we will get the line.
element dot geometry. So I got this solid.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Then
then explode.
geometry dot explode. Okay. Then
So I
then
think
which is the
one of
actual surface here? Which is the actual surface here?
uh,
Can I use get parameter value by name? Get parameter value by name. When I connect this element to this, and can I expect length here? Can I get the length information? Oh, it's giving. Why we have to struggle with? See, that's why. I mean, you have this method. You have this method, and but always look for the easiest method. Always look for the easiest method. Like we have a length information here. It's something 14,500 something. Okay, now my endpoint is ready, and how can I consider the start point? How can I consider the start point here? The start point here. Hmm?
how does dot start?
So where it is getting starting? It's not starting from zero, right? Where it is starting? From minus 2,500. Minus 2,500. Isn't it?
Yes.
Then what to do? What is that? Base offset. It's saying it's a minus 2,500. Minus 2,500 and this. Now, can I use this info to create something, or can I use it like in any ways? Let's say I want to add a point. So I want to create a point. So I want this has to be connected line dot by start point and end point. Line dot by start point and end point. So this is an endpoint. As I know, this is an endpoint for me. Okay. And in which direction? And in which direction? This is not in a x direction or this is not in a y direction. This is in a z direction. So what I do? Vector dot vector dot by coordinates. Vector dot by coordinates. I don't think so. It's normalized because the z value. So it's a 0 0 14,000, and I have geometry dot translate. Geometry dot translate. So this one I need only geometry and direction itself. Translate. I think geometry and direction. I think this is fine. So where I would like to go with this geometry, and in which direction I would like to consider the same direction, and it is saying it's a 14,500 something, and then what else? So what happened? Mhm. Just hold on. I think you can't see anything. Let me set to the pieces. Forget. Sorry. My monitor was off. Okay. So geometry dot translate. Okay. Now how do I use this other point? How do you use other point here? Do the same method. Do the same method to get another point. Here, I'll be using this as a z value and I have something here. So I have a point of this, and this is going to be my start point. This is going to be my end point. Now I see some information here. Now I would like to split that into the equal parts. I'd like to split that into the equal parts. How do I split it now? How do I split that? Any idea? Last time I don't know if someone has answered this exactly. How do I split this? Guys, how can I split this?
Like we have start point and end point, so we can
Think,
split
how can
by
we split here? Is there any way, is there any way that you can see to split something? This element is intersecting, looks like intersecting with what?
Level.
With level, no?
Levels.
So we can play with some sort of levels here. Correct? Correct? So element times and they'll set levels. Okay. Then all elements of what happened? All elements of type. So I have total 4 levels now. So wherever there is wherever we have a levels and it has to be splitted exactly. It has to be splitted exactly at that level points. Okay. Now, how? I'd like to get this level elevations first. So wherever there is a level elevation, it has to split at 0. So this has to be split at 0. This has to split, one more has to be split at 4,000, and second one it has to split at 8,000, and at like last point I don't think so. It's not required. Okay, well, so how do I get these numbers? How do you get the numbers? Level dot. So who is the parent here? Level is a parent and elevation is a child. So level dot elevation. Level dot elevation. So when I connect this level dot elevation to this, okay, well, so what next? I have this numbers as well where it has to be splitted exactly. Then what to do? I want to create a planes, because if I want to create, I cannot use these numbers as a point to the exact locations. So I need a plane, correct? I need a plane. I want to create a plane and I can consider that plane as a geometry, and that geometry is splitting with the column. You understand? Guys, you have to understand in all the views itself. Don't consider, okay, how can I consider one datum element as a geometry? Even a plane is a datum element. So like how we have a grids, like they are datum elements, but still when it comes to the geometry we are using, it's like a curve. Am I right? If you have any lines, we can convert that into a datum element. But but when it comes to the Revit, no, you can't intersect with the grids. Correct? Right or not? But when it comes to the geometry, yeah, that's when math geometry, that's something different. Even you can get the abstract things as well into the geometry parts. Now we have to create a planes. So the plane has a square or rectangle something. So it has a square. So that square we will be using as a additional geometry to split something. You understand? Now, how do you do that? I want plane XY. I want plane XY. So I have a XY plane because I want to split that in a XY plane itself. Okay. So I have an XY plane, and where it has to be created. At what point? For example, at 0, it has to be placed one plane. At 400, 4,000. Why I can't draw the pen here? Okay, whatever, leave it. So now at this point, at this point, at this point, and at this point, now plane dot offset. So it's expecting a plane and it is saying the distance. Now it has a 4 planes now, and those planes were placed at those points like 0, 4,000, 8,000, and 12,000. Okay, now how can you use it? How can you use it? Now can I split this line with this offset? Can I? Can I? You guys are mute completely. Are you not following me? Are you not following me? Are you there?
We are following, yeah.
Huh? Okay. So the first geometry always has to be what it has to cut. Remember one thing, geometry, not only for intersect or not only for union, not only for difference. For union doesn't matter. When it comes to intersect or difference, you have to remember the geometry always what it has to be cut exactly. Okay. So the line has to be cut with these planes. Can I directly connect these planes to here? Hmm? So it's giving me total 4 different set of points. Now, where is it exactly? So this is the entire like at 0, I mean, which is in the x direction, which is constant, and y direction, which is constant, and only there is a change in the z direction. There are no other vectors actually. Okay. Now, so let's start flatten. Split it by points. So I have this, I have the points. So I just connected the points to this and which curve I want to split. So this is going to be my curve and I splitted that exactly. Clear? Clear? So the split has done. Let's say control line. The splitting is done. Okay, let's say if I don't want to see that. The curves were splitted. The curves are splitted. Like let's say here, it's a first curve and second curve and third curve and the fourth curve and the fifth curve. Okay, fine. Now, how do I exactly split? How do I use this? How do I use this? Now, I would like to create something. So we have splitted. I mean, we got the first. We don't have a proper direction in which direction the line is. Okay, so for that reason, like we use this entire process, and now we have the line and we have the points where it has splitted actually, and up to that point, like on this curve here, this curve, I want to create a column. I want to create a one more column. I want to create a one more column. I want to create a one more column, and I want to create a one more column. So I'm not splitting the actual one. I'm not splitting the actual one. I got this information in last day's example. We used two stuff. So one, you are directly playing with a element, okay, and the main element would be deleted. And the second process is the main element remains same, and we are creating the additional one, and the data what we have used, it's going to be like deleted once the new objects were created. Correct? Correct?
Mm.
Very silent. Very silent. I don't know. Guys?
Yes.
Why are
Yes.
you so silent? Hmm? Structural framing dot. So this is column by curve. So I have the curves now. Can I create the same column whatever I have here? Can I?
Yes.
How?
Yes,
How?
we have to provide this structural column type.
Structural column type. No, I don't. I mean, I don't want to choose the type again here. I don't want to choose the another type again here. I want to use the same type.
So can we use that select model direct?
Select
No.
model direct. No, can't we use any get parameter value? Get parameter value by name, and I have an element. So how to get the type? Type information.
Family type.
Family type.
Type information. So when I type this, now it's giving me the family type. Correct. So what I do, I'll connect this family type to this. Okay, fine. What about the levels now? What about the levels now? At which level I want to create? Do you have any one level or do you have a number of levels?
Number
We have
of
number of
levels.
Number of levels. So where we have that levels now. So I have these levels. So I'll be connecting. The first curve has to be into first thing here. And now there are 4 equal parts. Let's say if I go and check this. So this is one equal part and there is another equal part and third equal part and the fourth equal part. Clear?
Yeah.
Did you see this now? So that's it. Okay. And you can ask me something why I can see the additional point here. Why I can see this additional here. From here to here, it's a 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 here. If you have something, because we are using like a base offset, it's minus 2500. Generally, it is not. Correct. The columns has to be started at 0. And down to the column, like we'll be having some foundations. Is it? So leave that as it is, because I mean you can, if you want to change, you can change that the base offset from 2500 to this 2500 to 0 as well. Then it will be splitted from, it started splitting from this point and this point. That's it. Clear guys? So splitting is a very very important concept. So you have to you have to practice this. Okay. So play in number of ways, like how you can be how you can split multiple components, because like in what do you say exactly? I have shown you like how to play with the surfaces. How to play with the surfaces. I think so. I haven't shown you this, like how to create some sort of what do you say that? Some sort of, what do you say exactly? Like war noise. War noise. I think. Let me create some sample surface. Let me create some sample surface. Last time we played with the unique one. For example, I want to split this into multiple points. I want a different set of points now, and I want to I want to connect the points together. Like for example, I have a 4 points here. I have a 4. Why I'm not able to use my pen here? Okay. Yeah, the power is on. Let me extend this. Can you see the screen now? Can you see the Dynamo screen now?
Yes.
Okay, fine.
Yes.
So I think now I can draw. Yes. So I need one point here, I need one point here, I need one point here, I need one point here. So how do I get this actual 4 points? What do you call this? What do you call this? This is a panel. This is a panel grid. So we have a different set of a panel grids. We have a different set of a panel grids. What? What are those grids? If you type grid here, if you type grid here, lunchbox quad grid by face, lunchbox quad grid by face. I mean, if you select any face, it will create some quad. It means 4 points. Okay. So diamond grid by face, triangle grid by face. We will use quad grid by face, diamond grid by face, triangle, staggered. Now, okay, fine. For example, I have the surface now. I have the surface and I want to convert this. Um, Let me say control I, surface to the triangle. Okay, and it is expecting u and s, and it is expecting u and s. Now there should be like 10 points, 10 u's, and 10 base. So what do you mean by 10 and 10? So it will create total 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, total 10. Okay. So again on the other hand side on the V, again I'll get the same count. So 10 with a 10. Now if you notice that if I um, turn off this, you can see some lines clearly. Control B. When I select any, it's saying it's giving me 3 set of points. It's giving me 3 set of points. So the first list is this, and second list is this, and third list is this. Point, point, and point. I can't see here. Maybe on other hand side. Panel list. It is list dot flatten. Now I can see. Sometimes if you're in nested list, you can't see the labels generally. Okay. So now 0, 0, 0, 1, and 0, 2. So this is my first panel. And when I next to it, I can see 1, 0, 1, 1, and 1, 2. Those are in the same direction actually. I mean, if I go to 0 list, 0, 0, in the direction that you can see here, 0, 0, 0, 1, and 0, 2. And again, the last point is going to be like 1, 0, 1, 1, and 1, 2. And it is creating one more panel grid here. So this is this is a panel, and this is another panel. So we have a triangle grid here. Okay. How do I use this? How do you use it? I mean, can I create any, can I create, let me erase all the drawings. Control file, new, family, English. So generic model adaptive. Can I create any points here? So let me create a point. The first point is this, somewhere here, and second point is this, and the third point is this. And I'd like to make this adaptive, and then I'd like to create a create a line. I mean, if I use SP line, that would be something else. Let's say create a line. Let's say 3D snapping. Connect this, connect this, connect this, connect this. Now I'd like to create something. I think will it spoil this? Will it spoil this? Hmm.
Playing from command.
I'd like to create one point somewhere in the middle of it, and I would like to create something here. Yep. So this is inside the panel. This side is fine, and this side also. Yep, it's inside. So let me load this. Sometimes it will give you. I hope you know that it gives you some different warnings. So adaptive. What is that node? I have the points here. And I want to place a family. So adaptive component dot by points. Now I have the points. I connected these points to that, and family type. Family types. Is that working? Yes. So it has placed, but where? Manage project units. Oh, this is an mm. Let me set to the meters, and then I have to reconnect this again to this, and we'll see. So this is for like triangle. And what if it's a rectangle? What if it's a rectangle? Can I use these 3 points? See, it is actually placed and they are not even clashing each other. Correct? So this is another one. This is a different panel, and this is a different panel, and this is a different panel. And if you're good in like doing adaptive formulas, then you can play with these kind of a geometries like anything. You don't need to struggle even. You understand? For example, if I don't want this, I want to go with a rectangle one, and it has to be like something like, let me show you what are the other things we have. So understand this, like how to grid the staggered grids and how to play with the quad grids. And once you get the points, why? I mean, this practical BIM package, it's giving the points information and the polylines information. I mean, polycurves information, and it will give you the phases as well. So sometimes when you are playing with any kind of a geometry like adaptive component by points will not work. At that time, you can use any alternative node which can play with the curves, adaptive component by curves. So when you connect the curves, it will go through that direction itself. So accordingly, you have to maintain the respective family as well. Clear? So this is let me disconnect this. So Control L. So this is for triangle grid. It's for the triangle grid. And what's a staggered grid? When I connect this, and I'll connect the same U value, and when I connect the V value to this, now I have this staggered kind of thing. Now I don't want to do the same thing. I just want to make this like a brick shape or something. Then how do I do that? Again, I'll create something new family, file, new family. Why it is English. So I'll just go with generic model adaptive. Let's say click open. Now how to create a simple grid. Let me create a 4 points. It should be in the same order. I have 4 points now, and then let me connect all together. And can I draw a line here? 3D snapping. Make adaptive. Draw one line and turn on the 3D snapping. First, second. Select this. Create a form. Let me go with the solid shape, and I would like to adjust something, and that too, that is inside this. Okay, well, fine then. Now how do I use this? Load into the project, to the same project one. So I have this. It's a family too. Okay, well, which output I have to consider? Points. Whatever, I can go with either points or like polylines or whatever it is. For now I have a points, and how can I use this? So flatten, flatten. So this. So L1, L2, L3, till how many panels I have? 104 panels. Okay, well, how do I create this? The same process again. So adaptive component, this Control C, Control V. I'll duplicate this, and this family is going to be family 2, and if I want to apply some material, then I can apply some material as well here. I'd like to go with any new material. This is taking too much time. What's happening? Let's go with any sample one. Okay, because so it's a family 2, and I have a points this. If you want that as a generic family, generic model, I mean adaptive family. If not, you can go with even basic elements as well. See, clear? So these are acting like a bricks now. So these are bricks, and you have to take care of this family. I mean, adding some sort of a. If you notice this, we are getting there is some sort of thing, and you have to add some sort of an angle, and you have to get this. Let's see today, like how do we do that? So this kind of a brick system. Clear? So where we have a points, where we have a 4 points, and you have a quad grid by surface, even it will also give you the 4 points, and the diamond grid. So what do you mean by diamond grid again? So let me remove this selected surface. Now we can see the same surface with the diamond grid system. So which is the best convenient way, and which is the actual need, in which way you want to create something, you can use some sort of a paneling system. Paneling is very interesting, and it is very even very easy. The time, like when the Dynamo has introduced to attract the more architects, we have a lot of examples were created only on the paneling itself. So there are a lot of sources available in YouTube. You can go and watch those. If you have any queries, okay, paneling is very easy. You should know like how to create a surface first, and how do you split that like points. For suppose, no, like I don't want to create a points. I have a points in irregular ways. For example, I have a point somewhere here. I have a point somewhere here, and I have another point somewhere here, and I have another point somewhere here. I have another point somewhere here, and there is no proper sync between any other points. Still, you can play with those concepts, and you can, what do you say? They are called Voronoi. Voronoi, this kind of a stuff. So we generally called as a Voronoi, and if you want to create it, you don't need any of the specific points actually. Okay, you have a points at different places, and a different UVs. Okay, then how do you do this? Let me show you. For example, if you don't have a proper points and I don't want this. These are it's a very boring method, like playing with what do you say? Playing with either diamond or rectangle or triangle or elliptical or some circle, whatever. It's a kind of a boring. Now I want to play with. I have some sort of a points. I would like to create a points and I want to play with those. Let me show you. I have the surface. I have the surface. Playing with warners are also very easy. Okay. So first thing, like what you have to do is, so I'm already using the surface here. Let me get that. Uh, how to create the points on surface? How to create a points on surface?
Mm, we can make get isolate.
Points.
Then
No, I don't. I don't want. I don't want get isolate means again it has a proper direction. I don't want any directional ways. Where is it? Chip plus. Okay, so what I'm saying, sample surface. Yep, pointed parameter. Pointed parameter. Oh, I'm sorry. It's a surface dot pointed parameter. Surface dot pointed parameter. Okay, so I have the surface and I want the use and ways. For example, if I use 10, why that's not run completed. Why this is not, why this is not placing anything? Let me get, this is expecting UV parameters. Let's see, 0 double dot 1 double dot 1 0.1. Let me connect this and let me connect this. So this is lacing is, these UVs are something different. Now I don't want this points. I don't want this points in a proper directions. So I have a point somewhere and I don't have any sequence for the points. Then any idea? I want a different U values and I want different V values. I'll use a slider here. You guys are mute. I think I know you guys are sleeping. Is it? Or else you don't understand anything here. Hmm? Let's say a total I have a 200 points. I have a 200 points and random list. Random list. I want 200 random points. So what is it giving exactly? Array, show this why. Produces a list containing the given amount of random doubles in the range of 0 to 1. I mean like 0 and 1. Let's say now it's giving me 0 values, between 0 value and the 1. Between 0 and 1, it's giving me the random values. Even I want the same thing for U and V's. Okay, let me connect the same thing for U. Now there are different points now. I think you can see there is no proper order. Okay, well, let me show you. And let me try with V as well. And I want to create one more list. and I want to create a one more list again. So these two are two different set of points, and they are at different use and different v. Let's consider they are different x values and different y values. Okay, so let me connect this to v again. I didn't want to set this to a cross product. Oof, mistake. Change this placing to auto. Now there are different, I mean, is there any order on this? No, right? They're in a different positions. Now whatever I'm expecting to see, the points are ready for me. Okay, then how do I do with this? What do you do with this? Now you have the points, and these are general points, and I want the UV points here. I want to get the UV points. I want to convert this into the UV points, because why I have to use this? Because I don't remember what is that node Voronoi. Voronoi dot by parameters on surface by points. Design phase. No, I think this is the one. Now it is expecting a phase, and that is expecting UVs as well. And what do you mean by phase? What do you phase in the sense it's like a surface? So it's expecting a surface. So we have only one surface here. So let me connect the same surface, and the UVs. And the UVs are let me check here. I don't think so. I explained you this before. Am I right? So UV parameter at point. So UV parameter at point. Let me connect this points to this, and again the same surface. Again the same surface where I have. Let me connect this. I have UVs now. These are 0.871 and 0.815. What is this 0.871 and what is the 0.815? If you notice this, 0.871, I mean, which is the round value, okay, 0.871 and 0.815. So those values I'm getting like a event base now. So I have a total 200 points, and these UVs I have placed here, and then it will create a different set of a Voronoi. I mean, it's creating different set of lines, curves, a different structure. Now, how do I remove this external one? I don't want to see the entire stuff. If you say this, there are some sort of edges were cut. The edges were cut. The edges were cut here, and there are some sort of edges were cut. Actually, they are not like that. So these were like this. I mean, they are like a closed loop, but they are out of the US. They're out of the boundary. So here it's a UV point. UV in the sense nothing. Let's say I told you already, like 0, and if it is a 0, and this point is going to be the 1. If it is a 1, this is going to be 0, and if it is a 0 again, it's a 1. So between these in different directions, for example, if I have a number of lines, so how many lines you have? For example, you have a point, you have a point, you have a point. It means I have a 3 lines, and I have a 1. Let me clear all this. I have 1 point here, I have 1 point here, I have 1 point here, I have 1 point here. It means I have 1, 2, 3, and 4. And again the same thing, like 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's it. So how many like isolines we have? 4 isolines and 4. So it will give you max 16 points itself, including the intersection points. So this is called a UV point, and this is called a UV point. And wherever we have connected this, it's called a UV point. And UV points always in between 0 and 1. Remember this. Okay. Now, if you're getting the values like 10 to 100, then try to remap those. Like for example, um, remap range. Remap range. You have to remap these values between u and 1 itself. I mean 0 and 1 itself. So 0, comma, and 1. For example, if you want to play with any points, connect this and connect this to this, and it's giving a total set of numbers now. And what are the numbers? I have a numbers of something like list of 12, comma 15, comma 3, comma 6, comma 19, comma 32, something. Now I have a set of numbers here. Oh, they are not commas, the dots. Now when I connect this to this, it will understand and it will give you the points based on the ratios. Based on the ratios. Okay, so 0.28 for something and 0.3, 0.39, and again it's a 0 and it's 0.03, 0. Based on the values, it will remap by itself. Okay, so if you have any set of values which are higher than 1, then you have to remap those exactly. Okay, now I have this war noise. I have this cows now. I have a number of cows. So how do I split that exactly? How do I split this surface with this surface? Guys, how do I split?
We should get the boundary of the surface and can we trim or
Great.
something?
How to get the boundaries? How to get the
I forget.
boundaries? We have a curves. We have a curves, right? So if I mean you can't split with this surface directly. At least you should have sometimes. I mean sometimes you can, sometimes you cannot. Okay. Now in our case, what do? We can extrude. We can extrude this curve. Correct? Let me go with, I have a curves. Yep. So the distance, I can say the distance, the default value, the direction is also same. The distance is also fine. Okay. Let me check that the distance is somewhat, let me say some 0.2 or something. No, you're not able to see this. Let's set it to 0.5. This has to be split with the surface now. How? How do I split this? Now I want to convert this surfaces into one common surface. This is what I hope you remember, like what we played in last sessions. We have converted this. I mean, if you want to split, you have to convert that into a single face itself, correct? Into the single surface. So how to join the surfaces? Type, what do you call it? Polysurface, no? Type polysurface. Polysurface. If it is a poly curve, then we say poly curve dot by joined curves. If it is a polysurface, polysurface dot by joined surfaces. So by joined surfaces, let me connect the surfaces to this, and I have one. Okay, so where is this? Yep. So we have a one polysurface here. Now what do you do with this polysurface? Why did you do this? To split. What is the node to split? These two, one surface with another surface. What is the node? Guys, what is the node? Split. Geometry dot split. Correct. Geometry dot split. I think this one. So geometry dot split. Which one has to be connected first? Just few minutes ago I explained you. Which one have to be connected here?
The main surface.
The main surface. Where is the main surface? Here. So the main surface
Yes.
has to be splitted. So I just connect that to here. And then this polysurface will be connected this to this. And it is getting what's happening. It's creating number of surfaces now. It's creating number of surfaces now. How do I see that? How do you see that? Still, I can see this additional stuff. So can I turn off all the geometry? If I turn off all this geometry, I can see the actual stuff like this. I can see the actual stuff like this. So whatever surfaces that you're going to play, I mean, you can see this kind of a like surface in most of the places. Like how do we do this? Okay, so this is the method we will be playing with a Voronoi. Okay, and we have one more. It's called Dil. That's called. It's called Delaunay something. Voronoi. Delaunay. Why there are no set of notes with this? Delaunay by points. So this is a one more set of thing again. Like how this looks like. Delaunay. This is another stuff. Delaunay geometry. Yep, this is similar to this. Yep, exactly. So similar to this. Similar to the Voronoi only, but there is a small difference between this Voronoi and Delaunay. Okay, so this will be creating by the points itself. Okay, so if you connect any points, it will understand the points and it will create the curves. We'll see that later. I don't think so. This works. Okay, now I want to get this curves now. I want to get this curves. How? I want to get this curves. I want to get this curves. I have a surface and I want to get this curves. I mean, this curve I'm asking for. This, likewise. How do I? How do I? Surface dot perimeter curves. In last session only I explained you this. I think someone asked me like the reverse engineering method. Do you remember? I don't know who asked this. We got this curves now. So Control B. That's it. Now you will be, for example, if you want to create any kind of an adaptive components, if you want to place some sort of an adaptive components here, you have a 4 points. You here you have 1, 2, 3, 6 points here. You have a 4 curves here. Again 3 curves here, 3 curves here. So you have a 6 curves here. So how to get the count? Let's start count. Let's start count. It's giving 172. No, I don't want like this. I want to use the levels and I want to see 4, 6, 4, 3. So what is the O? For some, at some point we have a 14 curves as well. So 14 curves, like 13 curves. How come 14 and 13? That meaning? Somewhere here. Okay. So how do you, oh, somewhere we have a 22 as well. So how do you use this? So based on this, you have to create a point-based element structure, which should, I mean, adaptive family, which can accept number of points, n number of points, whatever it is. It must be closed. It must be closed. Okay. So if you have this, if you have that adaptive family, you can adapt this surface with that family itself. Clear? Clear, guys? Do you understand this? How to create this war noise? Hello.
Yes.
Yes.
Do you use this kind of a structure anyhow? Do you use or no?
No.
Control Z. Let me save this. It's not day 23, it's day 27, it seems.
Playing from command.
And one more. Um, let's say create some. Shall I show you something? Which is, let me create a point, 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 and point. Let me select this. What would be the tunnel radius? What would be the tunnel radius? Generally, 6 meter.
3 or 5 meter.
Let's say select this and make adaptive. And I want to create a something. And I want to, this has to be circle. And I want to set the reference. And I want to set this plane. And I want to draw something which is 6 meter, and we are using meter system only. Let's say 6. The element is too small. Manage project units. So let's say 6,000 something, and one more with 5,000 600 something. So 5600 something, and then let me convert this into a form now. Into this form now. Okay, well, how can I? Oh, still this is wanting it. Let me load this project. Let me load this into the project. It's a family tree. Okay, now let me create something. DL select model element. Element dot curve. Still it is. So element dot curves. Set the model element. Okay, I'm fine. And now, how do I split this into equal parts? How to split this into the equal parts? Now I want this length. So curve dot length. Curve dot length. I want to get this length actually. So I got the length. So it's 107 meter. So it's a 107 meter. And then I want this like 0 double dot x value has to be end length double dot every 1.5 meter I want a segment. So every 1.5 meter, let's say every 3 meter I want a segment. Then what happens? It's giving me 105. I want to add this 2.08 as well. Then what to do? Comma end length. I want this end length as well, but how? This. Now I'll have a two different lists now. I'll be using like ds4 dot list dot flatten, ds4 dot list dot flatten, and in the brackets I have to open and I have to close this. Now I can see 0 3, I mean, which is from 0 to end length of this to 105. This has executed properly, and the next element, the length has been added automatically. Okay, fine. Now I have the segment length. So every 3 meter, I'm saying it's a 3 meter. Okay, I'm not assumption here. It's a clear cut. I'm saying my segment length. I mean, for example, this point 3 meter, 3 meter, 3 meter. I'm saying it's very specifically every 3 meter I want one. So it's called segment length. So I have a segment length now. Pointed segment length. Pointed segment length. So when I connect the curve to this, and the segment length is this. Leasing to longest. So the same curve, I want to play with the same curve with the number of elements. So I'm sorry, same longest lacing. So I have total 37 points now. Okay, let me check whether they are right or not. Let me curve dot length, because they are in a different direction, so there would be some sort of a tolerance. Should not. Okay, I'm sorry. Curve dot length. Now I want to split this. So how to split? Split by points. Curve dot split by points. I have a points actually, and curve is this. So they're splitted now, and curve dot length. So curve dot length, something 3 meter, 2.9 meter, 3 meter, 3 meter. So there is no odd values like 4 meter or 5 meter, nothing. So it's fine. Now it is in different levels, and we have only one list here. So I can flatten this. I can flatten this. Then now I have a family which needs 3 points, which need 3 points. Okay, for every curve, I have a number of curves here. I have a number of curves here. This is a curve, and from here to here it's a curve, and from the second curve from here to here it's a curve. I want to get this, I want to convert these 2 points into 3 points. How? Guys, I have a point here, I have a point here, and I have a point here. But if I want to place my family, I need a 3 points. So I want this point as well. Correct? I want one more point between those two. Am I right? How to get these 3 points now? How to get the 3 points?
Dot pointed parameter like that.
Curve dot pointed parameter.
We can give 0.5 on. We can get the midpoint.
Midpoint. What about the this point and this point?
Start point and end point. Curve dot start point. Curve dot end point.
Curve dot start point.
So, yes.
Curve dot end point. Okay. What about this? Another one. Curve dot.
Curve dot pointed parameter.
Mm-hmm.
For param, we can give 0.5.
0.5. And I can connect this to this. Now I have a 3 set of points. 36, 36, and 36. Then what to do? Let's start create. Let's start create. I have a 3 points. So this, and this. So I have 3 points now. So I have a 3 different set of list, but they are acting like a list now. How do I connect all these points with our family? I want this point from the 0 list, and I want this 0 index value from the first list. Then I want the 0 point from the second list. Then transpose, right?
Yes.
Transpose. So transpose. I have a points now. Okay. Then let's check. Adaptive component.
Hello? Hello?
Adaptive component
by point.
by points. So adaptive component dot by points. This is a points information. And what about the family type? Family types. So when I connect this, what is the family? Family 3, no? So when I connect this to this, what will happen? Generally, when you're playing, when you're thinking about splitting that into the segments, we will use only 2 points, like a 2 points, like a 2 points family. But generally, when you're playing with any curve based element, better I do suggest you to go with the multiple points. At least you should start with the 3 points. Okay. Then what would be the biggest difference between playing with the 2 points and 3 points? For example, you have this entire curve, and if you want to split that, what will happen? Whenever there is a bend, you may see, like, definitely there would be a sort of difference. But if I use a 3 points adaptive based family, you don't even see like 1 mm difference as well. Did you notice this? Did you notice this? So, which gives the flat surface itself. Clear?
Yes.
Clear? So, this is how. This is how add-in service. So, that's why. That's it. Okay? Clear? So, we have a segment. Now, if you want to customize it more in a more clean way, like you can do one thing. Where's the dynamo here? So, select this. Reach family. Take it inside. What?
Student,
No. Autodesk support. Edit profile. Edit profile. And I select this. Let me turn off all this. I can see the lines now. And generally, if you tunnel structure, if you want, you can simply customize this that circle into a different shape, and you will be using the same thing, because like you are using a same profile. You are using the same profile. For example, in our case, let's say create some sample line here. Let me create some straight line. Select this, and if you create something, I thought I'm in this section animation. So let me DL.
playing from Kumar.
DM, I'll just mirror this. Up, up. Serious error has occurred. Save recovery file. Yes. On desktop, tunnel, family. So hope you understand. So if you want to play with the same structure, you will be editing. You have to edit exactly based on this. Likewise, clear. And if you use it, it will give you the same structure till the end of this. Okay. Now, you, for example, if you want to play with any some sort of an inner, again, just give me a second. Can you see my screen now? What do you see?
Dynamo.
Yes.
Dynamo. Okay. So we have this. Now, how do we get this into, let me put this. Okay, so we have adaptive components now. In total, we have 36 adaptive components. Let me get element.geometry, and if I want to play with that inner surface, and inner surface is a part of a family, and I want to consider that as a only like, I don't know last time who asked it, how to extract the curves and the surface perimeter curves in a reverse engineering method. Who is that? Who asked it?
Dinesh was asking that.
Okay. Is he not here?
No, not here.
Okay. So element.geometry. Then we have to explore the same. We got this geometry information. Now I have two curves now, and this is the one curve, and this is another curve. I mean the inner one, and the outer one. Clear? So how do you play with this inner and outer curve? Control B. Element.geometry. I want to play with only one object now, for now, because it's too heavy. So list of 0, and let me connect this. Let me connect this to this. I got one geometry for now, and this geometry has to be exploded. I mean, if you have any geometry, that has to be exploded. Okay, and if you have any surface, again you can explode that. Okay, so I mean, if you have any surface, instead of like using explode, we will be using like a perimeter curves. Okay, because if you like if you explode the surface, it will give you the curves only. So how do you get that curves directly? From, I mean, like using perimeter curves now. So here we have a solid, and I want to explode this. So geometry.exploder. So I have a number of surfaces now. So when I click on the first surface, second surface, third surface, I can see something here. The one which is in a second, this is what we want exactly. This profile, we want it exactly. And forget about the path for now. Okay. So I want this profile. So that is the second one. So second index value. Okay. So how do I get this? How do we get this? Okay, let me check whether is it the same with all the geometry or not. Now, in that case, I will be connecting this to this. Let it load. Are you guys practicing after our sessions, training sessions? How many of you are practicing? At least 30 minutes in a day? Guys, no one? No one practicing? No one practicing it?
Yeah, Rajesh, because it's not in a regular practice, you know. Sometimes if we get time, we do. Otherwise, it depends the situation and the project deadlines. Yeah.
Okay, fine then. So I want to get this second and this second. I can see the same if I isolate this. Yeah, I can see when I select the second index value, I can see this front surface and second index. Okay, the front surface. So the third index for the third list, yeah, it's a fine. So it's going exactly the same. Now I want to get all these second index values. I want to get all the second index values. How to get that? How to get this? How to get this? I want to get that index values out of it.
List index, like
List index means get item
code block.
index. Get item index.
Yeah.
Is it? So let me
Yeah.
use flatten anything because it is an L1, L2, L3, L4 level. So I don't want that in L2, L3, L4 level. Let me connect this to this. So I'm having all the solids now. So if I explore this, I have a surface. Let me check again. Control I. Yes. 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 Okay. Now I want this. What is the node you said? Get item at index, huh? Get item at index. Okay. Then
Connect list and
connect the list to the geometry.
yeah.
Okay. Then
Index value we can provide from code block.
index value.
List
Index value. It's a 2. Correct?
yeah.
Okay. Then I'm getting the second index ring actually. This ring. What about this? I want this. I want this. I want
Need
this.
to change the list level.
List level. Where?
Yeah.
Where do you change the list level?
Get item index.
In get item index list.
Okay. List. Change this to
Level 2. Yes.
now I got the surfaces. Correct?
Yeah.
Now I got this surfaces now. So perfect. So I got the front face surfaces. Now if you want to play with the curves, if you want to play with the curves, now you have a surfaces. Okay, you're ready. And how do we get this inner circle? How do I get this inner circle part? I mean, inner the surface and outer surface. How do I?
We can extract outlines of surface.
How to extract outlines? Surface dot perimeter curves. I told you, no, perimeter curves. Correct? So if I
Yeah.
say surface dot perimeter curves, that's it. Clear? So now when I connect this, oh, it's giving me 4 points, 4 curves. Why? We have only 2 curves, right? One is a closed one is exterior one is interior one. One is
Yes.
exterior one, and why it's showing me 4 curves here? Again a challenge. How? Let me see now. So the first one and second one, and this one and this one. It means the first is interior other side, outer
Exterior.
and outer. Okay, now I want to chop this into the 2 equal parts. I want this list has to be chopped into 2 equal parts. How?
List dot chop.
So list dot chop again. List dot chop again. Okay. Connect this curve to this. And what about length? Length it is 2. Correct? Okay. No, it's not chopping exactly. Then what to do?
Then we can again change the level.
Levels. Levels. Correct? So use
Yes.
levels. Now it is chopping exactly. Correct? Now this is chopping exactly. Now if I select this 0 list, I can see a curve, these 2 curves. Okay. Well, how do can I join these 2 curves? Can I join these 2 curves now to make a single curve?
Yes.
How?
Uh,
I want to join if I want to join, it's a polycurve. That's a polycurve. I mean, if you're trying to join a 2 curves, it's a polycurve. Correct? Polycurve dot by joined curves. By joined curves. Okay. Now, when I connect this to this, when I connect this, so I have a polycurve and I have a polycurve. Now we have 144. 144 has been come down to 72 points now. 72 polycurves now. Correct? Correct? So what
yes.
if I want this polycurve and this is an inner one, and this is an inner one again, and this is an inner one again. Let's say control line. Why I can see all this stuff? I don't want to say this. I don't want to say this. I don't want to say this. Okay, none of the elements are selected now. I can see this. It's an inner curve and this is an inner curve. How do I get all these inner curves now into one list? So it's like transposing. Correct? So I'll just transpose. So what are we trying to do is we are trying to use the same phase. Okay, we're trying to do the same phase like 0 elements and 1 elements. Okay, perfect. Now let me check whether they are correct or not. I want to select all this inner curves, and I have a poly curve. Can I use any surface here? surface dot by loft. Let me check. Surface dot by loft. So when I connect this to this, so it's creating two surfaces. It has created two different surfaces. Got it? Got it, guys?
Yeah.
Now, if you're playing with a solid object, it is very hard to play with that particular, to get that phases directly. Okay. But here, this is the way to extract the surfaces. This is the way to extract the surfaces. Or else you have one more option, that it is select face. Select face. But if you notice it has two different phases now. For example, select face. So when I click on select face, from here to here this is a face, and from here to here this is another face. Did you notice that?
Two semicircles.
That is why we have converted it to the poly surface. We have converted it to like a poly curves. Got it? So here from here this part, from this circle, if you notice this, must be here. From here till here this is a face, and from here till this is another face. You understand? For example, if you want to place a point here, and if you want to place a point here, and if you want to place one more point here, you're supposed to play with the two different phases. That's a very, very like a crucial part to play with. You understand? You can't handle like a two different set of geometries at the same time. So you will be using like you will be using this method to split that into a different set of surfaces. I think that is the reason Dinesh has asked me this, how to extract this like a outlines. Clear? Clear, guys? Now you have a surface. I don't want to play with the surfaces now. I want to convert this. I have a polycurves now. I have a polycurve. I have a list of polycurves. How do I connect this? I mean, if I want to place, like if I want to place the points, so point at point at parameter. So point at parameter. Point at parameter. Let's say connect this. I'll just go with initially a list of 0, 36, and now I have connected, and I want to connect. See, the points are already placed here. So 0, double dot, 1 double dot. I want to place like 5 points. So let's say set 5 or like 4 points. When I connect this to this, chain this lacing to longest. Chain this lacing to cross product. Okay, I have a number of curves now. So now on every curve, I can see a different points. Got it? So I have seen total like 0 to 1, just having like a 4 set of points on every surface. So 1 point, second point, and third point, and the fourth point. Got it, guys? Clear? So this is how you will be playing with the points from the scratch. I mean, if you want to play with the inner surface, this is the best way to play with. You can play with the faces as well, but that is not suggestible. If you want to play with the inner surfaces, so this is the best idea. Okay, so if you're playing with multiple, then you have to focus on the list levels and the lacing part. You understand? Clear? or else here we have only two surfaces. So here like we have like 1 and 2 here, and this is the 1 and this is another one. For suppose you have this kind of a structure, then you will be having more faces here. You'll be having more faces, and find out the actual faces is a somewhat complicated again. Please take care of it. You clear, guys? Do you understand this? Do you understand this? In silence.
Yes.
Yes.
Everyone. So playing with the tunnel is not that complicated. The only thing is you need a proper family. Like I don't know, because I asked before like to share some sort of a tunnel like segment families. Okay, I haven't received it, so I used a very basic one. Clear? So I mean, if you want to play, I mean, once you placed, even if you want to align that alignments or whatever, you can do that later also using set parameter by name. For example, if you have any elements, let's see, set parameter by name, and connect that elements and parameter name and the value. So what are the elements were placed? If you want to customize it, or if you want to assign a values to it, or if you want to assign a segment, I mean like segment 1, segment 2, segment 3, segment 4, you can assign it once it has placed instantly. Clear? Clear?
Yes.
Okay. So, and you are expecting to see some sort of a civil connections, right? We'll discuss that in our next session. Clear? Clear? So, meantime, I need some sort of an, I mean, I want you to practice on the adaptive families. I don't know, like, how do you do exactly do the adaptive families? I'll give you some sort of an ideas. I'll name it even and do and set and practice on those. Create some adaptive families and play with those. Everyone, clear? Clear?
Yes.
I hope you
Yes.
haven't faced any issue with my voice today, isn't it?
No.
Thank God. So that's fine.
Yeah.
Thanks for the ginger water. Fine then. See you guys. See you on next session then. Okay.
Sure.
Thank you.
Rajesh.
Bye.
Okay.
Bye. Bye everyone. Bye.